Hello all, in this episode we are going to continue our topic discussion about this chapter, The Age of Mahajanapadas, based on the text of Upinder Singh. And this is part 2. Before starting with our lecture, we are happy to announce that we have started a Telegram group. You can join that Telegram group through the link provided in the description box. Our chapter is The Cities, Kings and Renaissance, North India between 600 and 300 BC. As part of this discussion, we will be discussing about 16 Mahajanapadas in these modules. So as you can see in this picture, there were 16 Mahajanapadas after this later Vedic period. So we have already discussed that during this later Vedic period that spanned between 1000 BC and continued till 600 BC. And after that what we can see, around 600 BC or 6th century BC, there developed 16 important big cities in India. They are simply referred as the 16 Mahajanapadas. Let's discuss more about these Mahajanapadas in this module. According to Buddhist and Jainist text, what we can see during this period, there also flourished two important religious sects such as Buddhism and Jainism. According to these Buddhist and Jainist texts, there were 16 powerful states. They are called as this Solasa Mahajanapada, and that flourished around this 6th century BC. And before discussing what is Mahajanapada, it is important to note that what is the word meaning of Janapada. So Janapada, that meant a region consisting of urban and rural settlement. So in a Janapada, that especially we can see during this later Vedic period or developed after 1000 BCE in north and eastern part of India. And there were the regions of urban and rural settlement and along with some inhabitants. Jana meaning the people, Pada meaning where they established their feet. So what we can see, Janapada meaning where the people established or settled, that is Janapada. And by 6th century BC, there developed 16 powerful and most important Maha or big Janapadas. According to the Buddhist text, Anguttara Nikaya of this Sutta Pitaka, we can see there is 16 important Mahajanapadas as you can see in this picture. They are Anga, Magadha, Kashi, Praji, Malla, Kosala, Panchala, Kuru, Surasena, Matsya, Avanti, Vatsa, Chedi, and the southernmost one, Asmaka, Gandhara and Cambodia in the northwestern part of India. These 16 are mentioned in Anguttara Nikaya of the Sutta Pitaka as the most important and 16 powerful Solasa Mahajanapada. We will be discussing about these Mahajanapadas in this chapter. At the same time, another Buddhist text, that is Mahavastu, is a Buddhist text that has a similar list, but at the same time what we can see, these northmostern regions, the Gandhara and Cambodia, that is not mentioned in Mahavastu. Instead what we can see, two important other substitutes such as Shibi in the Punjab region and Dasharna in the central India, that is referred instead of this Gandhara and Cambodia. That is according to this Buddhist text called as Mahavastu. Another reference, that is Bhagavati Sutra of this Jainism, that gives a somewhat different list and seems to be later and less reliable. So the Bhagavati Sutra of this Jainist work, that is less reliable for the listing of these 16 Mahajanapadas. Regarding these 16 Mahajanapadas, generally we can classify these states or these cities into two classifications. One is the monarchical form of government and one is oligarchical form of government. The monarchical form of government also known as the Rajyas. And here we can see the supreme authority of the king having a strong military and effective taxation as the important features of this monarchical system of government. At the same time, when we discuss about this oligarchical form of government, among these 16 Mahajanapadas, they were non-monarchical in nature and they are also known as the Ganas or Sanghas. Simply we can say they are the republican form of governments, meaning that was elected by some people. And that is the power was exercised by a group of people, that is simply referred as Gana or Sangha, otherwise called as the oligarchical form of government. And among these, we can see some important sites such as this Vraji, Malla, Panchala, Kuru and Cambodia. They were this oligarchical form of government. So these sites such as Cambodia, Kuru, Panchala, Malla and Vraji, they were the oligarchical form of Mahajanapadas among these 16 Mahajanapadas, and rest were this monarchical form of government. So this is just an introduction. Firstly, we are going to discuss about this Mahajanpada called as Vajji. You can locate Vajji in this map, or Vrajji. Vajji, otherwise known as Vrajji, that is situated in eastern part of India, north of the Ganga river and extending up to the Nepal hills. And historians believe that the Vajji was the confederacy of 8 or 9 clans. So it is believed that there existed around 9 clans in this Vajji confederacy. And most important members of this confederacy were, one is Vajjis, Lichavis, Videhas, Nayas or Natrigas. And we can see the capital of this Vajji was Vaishali. So this is very important point. Vaishali was the capital of Vajji confederacy or the Vajji Mahajanpada. Vaishali was the capital of Vajji and also the capital of the Lichavis. And it is said that, or it is believed that, the Vajji people had some kind of conflict with this Magadha. So Vajji and Magadha had some kind of conflict. And finally what we can see, this Natriga clan, that is very important among this Vajji. And these Natrigas, they were based in Kundapura or Kundagrama. And there we can see the birth of Mahavira. So Mahavira belonged to this clan called as Natrigas. So these are some basic points regarding this Vajji confederacy. Next is Malla. So as you can see in this picture, Malla is here. So Malla situated as the west of Vajjis, and it is consisted of confederacy 9 clans. So what we can see, 9 clans can be seen in Malla confederacy also. And there we can see 2 important political centers. One is Kusinara and Pavapuri. And the importance of both these sites, Kusinara and Pava or Pavapuri, that is the demise place of both Buddha and Mahavira. Next is Cambodia, the third one, and you can locate Cambodia in the outer map of India. And that included the area around Rajouri, including the Hazara district of northwest frontier province of Pakistan. And these Cambojas, they were once a monarchical state in 6th century BC, but in Arthashastra we can see they are referred as Sangha. So we believe that as per this Arthashastra, these Cambodia people were the Sangha or Gana people. Next we are going to discuss about these 2 states, Kuru and Panchala and Kuru. According to the Buddhist tradition, what we can see, this Kuru kingdom that was ruled by some kings belonged to the Yudhishthira Gotra or the Yudhishthira Gotra. So that is the basic point regarding this Kuru kingdom. The kings of this Kuru kingdom, they belong to this Yudhishthira Gotra. And their capital was Indraprastha or otherwise called as Indrapatta. So Indraprastha was the capital of this Kuru confederacy, and they had some kind of matrimonial relationship with the Yadavas, Bhojas and Panchalas. So matrimonial relationship is one of the most important feature of this period in order to expand and consolidate their political power. And up to the time of Buddha, it is believed that the Kurus were monarchy. Then later they shifted to a Sangha political system. Next comes Panchala. And the Panchala kingdom that situated around the Rohilkhand area and part of central Doab region, and that was divided into 2 parts, northern Panchala and southern Panchala by the river Ganga. And the capital of this northern Panchala, otherwise called as Uttara Panchala, was Ahichatra, and that of this Dakshina Panchala was Kambilya. So there were 2 important capitals. One is the northernmost one, that is called as Ahichatra. Another one is southernmost capital, that is called as Kambilya. And the famous city of Kanauj, otherwise called as Kanauj or Kanikubja, that is located in this kingdom. So important city Kanauj, that is very significant in the history of India. So Kanauj situated in the Panchala kingdom. So far we have discussed the most important 5 republican states or the Gana or Sangha states of Mahajanpadas. Next we are going to discuss about some of the most important monarchical form of government among these 16 Mahajanpadas. So next is Kashi. You can locate Kashi here in this map. And this monarchical state of Kashi, that was situated as the river Varuna to the north of the state and Asi as the south river. So that's why the capital itself says that Varanasi. Varuna plus Asi called as Varanasi. And according to Jataka stories of Buddhist texts, there were long-standing conflict between the Kashi and Kosala state. So these 2 states, Kashi and Kosala, there were in mutual rivalry. Next is Anga. You can locate Anga here in this map. Anga, that is situated in the present state of Bihar in the districts of Bhagalpur and Mongia. And the most important river was Chamba river, and that was a boundary with the Magadha state. So what we can see, there was a boundary river called as Chamba between this Magadha and Anga. And Chamba was one of the greatest cities also, and it acted as one of the greatest and important commercial center of the 6th century BC, having some trade contact and trade connection with the rest of the world. And especially what we can see, the merchants from this Anga or the Chamba region, they made their overseas trade to Suvarnabhumi, that probably meaning the Southeast Asia. So what we can see from this Anga region or the Chamba region, there were important international trade connection, especially to the land called as Suvarnabhumi, identified as the Southeast Asia. Next one is Kosala. We have already mentioned the state of Kosala and Kashi had some kind of rivalry each other. Now we are going to understand more about the state called as Kosala. And this state Kosala, that is bounded by a river called as Gandak in the east, otherwise called as Sadanira. So Gandak on the east, Gomadi on the west, Sarpiga or Sindhiga on the south, and the Nepal hills to the north. So it was highly resourceful state called as Kosala. And the North Kosala had the capital called as Shravasti, and South Kosala had capital called as Kushavati. So Shravasti and Kushavati were two important capitals of this Kosala state, and the most important towns were Sakeda and Ayodhya. So this is very important site, that is Kosala, and the North Kosala had capital Shravasti. Kushavati was the capital of South Kosala, and two important towns such as Sakeda and Ayodhya were in the state of Kosala. And the most important king of this dynasty was, or the state was, King Prasenajit or Pasenadi. So King Prasenajit was the most important king of this Kosala state, and it is said he was a contemporary of Buddha. And during the time of Prasenajit, there was some matrimonial relationship or alliance with the state of Magadha. So both the state of Kosala and Magadha had some kind of matrimonial alliance during the time of Prasenajit and Bimbisara. Bimbisara was the most important ruler of this Magadha state. We will be discussing about him later. So this is a general understanding about the state of Kosala. Next one is Vatsa. You can locate Vatsa here in this map. And the Vatsa, otherwise called as Vamsa, that's situated in the south of Ganga river with their capital at Kosambi. And the importance of this capital Kosambi and this Vatsa state was, it is noted highly for its fine cotton textiles. So high fine cotton textiles were the important feature of this Vatsa state. And the most important feature of this period or the Vatsa state can be understood as the rivalry between the Vatsa kingdom and this Avanti kingdom. The Vatsa king was Udayana and the Avanti king was Pradyota. And the Vatsa king Udayana, he had some kind of love affair and marriage between this Udayana and Vasavadatta. And Vasavadatta was the daughter of Pradyota. So what we can see, Vasavadatta fall in love with Udayana, and there were some kind of rivalry between this Pradyota of this Avanti and Vatsa kingdom. And later what we can see, this king Udayana, he became the romantic hero of some important Sanskrit dramas of later times such as the Swapna Vasavadatta of Bhasha. So during the post-Gupta period, there we can see this scholar named as Bhasa. He wrote a work, Sanskrit drama called as Swapna Vasavadatta. And later comes Harsha's works, Ragnavali and Priyadarshika. In all these works, what we can see, the romantic hero was described as the king Udayana of this Vatsa state. So that's the importance of Udayana and the Vatsa state. Next is the kingdom of Chedi. Here you can see the kingdom of Chedi. And that's situated as the eastern part of Bundelkhand region in the central part of India. And its capital was Soti Vatinagara. Soti Vatinagara was the capital of the state of Chedi state. Next is the kingdom of Avanti. We have already mentioned the state of Avanti had some kind of rivalry between the Vatsa state over their daughter, between Pradyota and Udayan. And this kingdom of Avanti, that's situated in the Malwa region of central India, and that divided into northern and southern part by the Vindhya mountains. So it's situated in the northern and southern part of this Vindhya mountain. And there were two important towns such as Mahishmati and Ujjaini. We are familiar with both names, Mahishmati and Ujjaini. And there we can see important trade points happened in this Avanti state. And both these states or towns such as Mahishmati and Ujjaini, they were connected with the North India, Deccan region and the western part of India or the western coastal region. So this state of Avanti was highly significant in the economic matter. And as we already discussed, King Pradyota was the important king of this Avanti kingdom. Next is Matsyas. You can locate Matsyas here, and that's situated in the Jaipur area of Rajasthan, extending into the Alwar and Bharatpur areas as well. And their capital was Viratnagara, that is in the modern Bharat region. Then comes Shurasenas, and their capital was at Mathura. Shurasenas with their capital at Mathura. And according to the Buddhist tradition, what we can see, the king of this Shurasenas, his name was Avantiputra. He was the disciple of Buddha. So the term suggests that Avantiputra. It is also believed that there were some kind of matrimonial alliance between these Shurasenas and this Avanti. That's why his name was Avantiputra. And it is believed that according to Buddhist tradition, Avantiputra was the disciple of Buddha. And according to Mahabharata and Puranas, that refers the Madura region during this time that was ruled by Yadus or Yadavas. And that included the Vrishni clan of Krishna. So this is about the Shurasena. Next comes the southernmost Mahajanapada, that is Asmaka, or otherwise called as Asaka. We had different opinions regarding this state, Asaka or Asmaka. According to Ashtadhyayi, Markandeya Purana, Brihad Samhita and some Greek accounts that suggest this state of Asaka or Asmaka or Ashoka, that kingdom situated in the northwestern region. But according to this Buddhist text, that family locates this Asmaka kingdom in the Godavari river and their capital was Potali or Podana or Potana. So the capital of this Asmaka kingdom was Potali. With their capital at Potali and situated in Godavari river, Asmaka became the southernmost and the only southern Mahajanapada. And we can see one important, this Godavari river that separated this Asmaka or Asaka state from the neighboring kingdom of Mulaka or Alaka. And the capital of this Mulaka was Pradisthana, that is identified as the modern Python region. Anyhow, what we can see, Asmaka as the southernmost region, southernmost Mahajanapada with their capital at Potali. And their neighboring kingdom was Mulaka. Finally, we are going to discuss about this state of Gandhara. You can see Gandhara in this map here. And it is situated in the modern Peshawar and Rawalpindi districts of Pakistan and the Kashmir Valley. And their capital was Takshashila or Taxila. And it is the most important political, economic and major learning center. And here we can see one important king named as King Pukkusati or Pushkara. He ruled over this Gandhara region in the mid 6th century BC. And during his time, we can see there happened a cordial or a good friendship between the state of Magadha. At the same time, they waged a successful war against the state of Avanti. And one important reference regarding this Gandhara state is that from this Achaemenid Empire, that is the Behistun inscription. So according to this Behistun inscription of this Achaemenid Emperor, Darius, he was the king of this Achaemenid Empire. And that Behistun inscription indicates that this Gandhara was conquered by these Persians in the later part of the 6th century BC. So this is an understanding about the state of Gandhara. So far we have discussed about the 15 Mahajanapadas leaving the state of Magadha. We will be discussing about the state of Magadha separately in the next module. Hope the session was useful. If you like the session, please like and subscribe to my channel and also share among your friends. So that's all for now.